X. We here with some playing with matches. That's Jesse on Fire's second channel, and he just happened to mention something that I've been wondering about his opinion of for a while, because I wanted to add to it. So this is a little clip out of one of the recent episodes. Let's roll with it.
Voice conversation with him for 90 minutes, and you could not be more opposite in terms of beliefs. Now, I am not like the most extreme version of a mutt, but I am a Trump, voter, and we can have a.
Gotta apologize in advance for technical difficulties. My screen's gonna be cutting out on me, and also I interrupt a lot. So if you want to watch the original, just go watch the original. What's the point of a reaction if you're not reacting? Okay, so I don't play the whole red team, blue team, left, right. I'm Team Freedom. I'm Team America, and you need both red, white, and blue. I just see what American Patriot. Fucker. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Anyway, American Patriot, defiance of tyranny is obedience to freedom. Give me liberty or give me death on the back on a police shield.
Rational conversation, okay? But like, that's a one-on-one conversation, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, when you take an already heated situation in the United States and then you implement a thing like this, where you have one half that is literally like, you're destroying our lives, and you have the other half, and you make them believe that the reason that everyone's locked down is because of this group over here, and that and if they would just do the thing, then this would all be over. And you're like,
it was insane.
And here's the thing, like, also
divided. That's the whole point. Division is what drives everything.
What they want.
If the people were unified, then they wouldn't be able to do what they do.
True. They also, though, they want two parties where they control both.
Exactly, Gabby. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer is the name of the game, has been for millennia, literally. So that's the deal with this whole identity politics dealio, is divide and conquer. It's not just, oh, hey, you're a human. No, it's got to be, what identity are you? But also, and you can tell, because you have to equally distribute any rationale. So if you say that you can identify with gender, then you have to use that same rationality to extend to everything else. So then you can identify races, you can identify professions. Okay, I identify as a policeman. I identify as a lawyer. I identify as the president of the United States. I identify as a car. You have to equally extend a logic to everything. And also, and that's cool, you can identify as whatever you want, but that means other people can identify you as whatever they want as well. So people getting locked up for saying that someone is or is not a certain gender, that is violating the right of identifying with genders. You see how that works there? You got to equally apply the logic, and if it's not equally applied, that's just a red flag, a sign of tyranny. Let's roll with it, Jesse.
Candidates. Mark Weinstein did an episode very recently.
Listening to him talk.
Sometimes when he's doing like, let me talk like this so dumb people can understand, I love it. Talking like, hey, let me talk so that my Yale people like hear me talking smart. Mm-hmm. I'm like, are you doing this on purpose?
What does that word mean?
Are you doing this on purpose? Like that is not. That makes no sense.
His logic is always so sound, and
if you can understand what he's saying. Yeah. But yes, I will play the thing. I'll play the thing for you that he did, and that's his, because not only did he talk about how they normally. If you can understand what he's saying. Yes, I will play the thing. I'll play the thing for you that he did, and that's his. because not only did he talk about how they normally control both party candidates, but he also was like,
all right, now we're getting there. Now we're getting to the topic I was really wanting to dive into with Jesse. And this is something I just don't trust the government. It's left wing, right wing, but it's both wings of the same bird, and it's two sides of the same coin. So people, and that's the whole thing, right? Why is there only two choices? Because with two choices, that way you still have the illusion of choice, but it's easy to control those two choices. And I have said this, and JFK, I was born in 85, so JFK was well murked off before I was around. But, that's the one that was always taught to me by the older generations and stuff. And JFK was the last president that... okay, I'm just giving it to you as I've been going through it. So JFK was the last president that really stood up for the people, and he got killed for it, for standing up for the people. And ever since then, they have not let anyone in the White House, and that you don't even get to run at the highest levels if you are not controlled. Okay, you're not even eligible to win that president unless you are controlled by the elites, not by the people, not by the Constitution, but by the elites. You have the Federal Reserve, which is not federal and does not reserve. It is a foreign bank that has hijacked the American economy, and which runs the IRS, which comes knocking on everyone's door demanding money. So, take it away, Jesse.
There is a possibility that behind the scenes, the thing that people do not realize is that while Trump puts on a good show for the people and he's saying the right things, that the actual global social order is held together by a lot of agreements and things like that that we do not know about and do not understand, and that he puts at risk. How many times have I said that?
Yeah.
I've said that a million times where I'm like, there is a world where Trump actually poses a risk that we don't understand at all.
World peace.
Yeah, that we don't know. Because, if you think about how he started his candidacy, right? I'm sorry, his presidency, the first thing he did is he pulled us out of the climate accord, right? Mm-hmm. Right out of the gate. I'm not defending the climate accord. I'm not defending any of that. What I'm saying is that the United States organized this global initiative that had to do with climate change, and I have no idea what the actual purpose of it was, and I have no idea what the actual global implications were of pulling us out of it.
All right, well, my take on that is just a modern rendition of the age-old use weather to control people. And they've been doing that for thousands of years. Oh, the gods are angry with us. They're giving us bad weather. You got to do what we say to make the gods happy, because we are the intermediaries between the gods. And it's always the priesthood, right? It's never the casual man. And that has always been a common theme within any major religion, is that it's not just anyone. It can't be, and you got to be the priest to have that higher connection to God, because they all preach, and most of them, in one way or another, some kind of dogma to from their inherent divine sovereignty. And so anyway, for a long time, even when Trump first ran, I was like, yeah, he's funny, but I don't think anyone is even allowed. His whole first presidency, I said that wasn't even, he's controlled just like everyone else. And this is one thing that Jesse has gotten mad at me before, because I posted some comments saying, this assassination thing's fishy, and Trump could just be in on it, in order to just. I don't trust the government. I'll just put it that way. American patriot, but the patriotism isn't in the government. It's in the spirit of freedom that's inherent within the land of America. That's what I'm patriotic towards. Okay, so let's make that clarification. And I got this so that I was a walking banner. Anyone that loves freedom will know that I'm their natural enemy, and anyone that loves tyranny and hates freedom will know that I'm their natural. Wait, fuck, I said that wrong. Anyone that loves freedom will know that I'm their natural friend, and anyone that hates freedom will know I'm their natural enemy. There we go. So Yeah, right there. Cut it. Right there. Defiance of tyranny. That their blood of patriots dealio's ready again.
He did it so fast that there's no way he did either.
Yeah.
So that's just like one example of maybe behind the scenes, he is a threat to the global order. But
on the other side,
if you do what they did during the pandemic, I don't care if Trump
is the global order. I mean, we don't know if it's actually a positive thing. All we know is that it is what it is, and it has been that way for a long time. Like, maybe it should be broken. We don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
If you can't acknowledge that you don't know in the group that I consider intelligent.
Correct.
It's like if you're certain about all of this stuff, it's okay. What's the right way to put this? I know 100% sure that you cannot know all of the information that is necessary to make this choice.
Correct.
You make a choice based on the information that you have. You person, whoever you are listening to this, do not have all of the information necessary. Now, from our perspective, given our experience and what we saw during the pandemic,
we have a personal experience and a personal story that heavily weighs into our feelings about it, and a lot of people out there do as well. But
I was one of the very few in my area, and because I'm out here in bumfuck nowhere, Arkansas, but I was one of the very few that didn't put a mask on, and I'm still proud of that decision. I never got any shots. I'm all about that natural immunity, and time tells, and it certainly has on that issue.
I think it's it's a sign of intelligence, and it's a sign of advanced thinking to be able to say, I don't know. Let me go learn about it. Let me hear the other side. Let me hear why they think the way that they think. Let me see all of the pieces to it, because when you are so rooted in such a strong belief and you refuse to hear any other input, like, you're just as much part of the problem as the other side.
Correct.
We should be able to communicate.
Exactly right. And so I'm not gonna use their name, but I am going to show you I was in a group conversation yesterday with some people who are very smart, but one of the two has absolutely stone TDS, like completely shuts the brain down all the way.
The name.
And yesterday, I had a conversation with the two of them, and the one that has TDS originally just tried to like completely pull out of the conversation. They're like, I am not doing this with you. And I'm like, this thing I sent you is not a big yay Trump thing. This is actually saying, it's actually I sent and the other person. So when the other person engaged in the conversation, like in a very calm, rational way, and then I think it put them in a position where they had to kind of go, okay, fine, here is what I'll say, right? And it goes to you, it went like this. I'll engage to this level. Can you identify Trump's specifically stated views on the following critical issues, the consequences of those views if enacted, and why you think you know those views? Okay, 1, abortion. 2, climate change. 3, federal debt. 4, tariffs, tax cuts. 5, Russia, Ukraine. 6, Israel, Middle East. 7, election integrity. 8.
Tariffs, yeah, come the fuck on. Tax other countries for the right to sell their goods in our markets, like we used to. But no, that would be pro-American. We can't do pro-America in America. That would just not be American. Fuck ass honkies.
Immigration legislation. 9, public health responsibility. 10, school vouchers. 11, military independence. Okay, so, and then also, who are the elites that are constantly being referenced? Aren't Musk and RFK billionaire CEOs elites, all of whom have their own agendas? So I think that was supposed to be the huge gotcha, right? You like him because he's funny. Have you ever actually thought about this? Here are my answers.
Oh, brother.
Short. Abortion.
Short.
He publicly stated he'll veto any bill that limits abortion at the federal level. I'm sure they went and Googled that and were like, oh shit, he did. Climate change. He's not great there, but neither are the Democrats. Private industry will solve that. Only thing that we can hope for are government subsidies for electric infrastructure with Elon on Trump's team. Why do you...
Okay, you guys remember when it used to be global warming? And then all of a sudden, change to climate change. Why is that? There's a reason behind that. Because global warming for one direction of movement of temperature. They want to call it climate change. Any little which way the climate changes, it's our yeah. No. Every single one of us individually, not the ones making the major decisions that are affecting that on a government and business level. No, it's us. It's our fault. And if you believe that, they will tell you another one.
I think Elon is so excited to be on Trump's team that, okay, tariffs. You should actually watch him talk about tariffs. This is where he shines the brightest. Watch him discuss tariffs on imports in certain sectors where the goal is specifically to make exporting American production jobs more expensive than keeping them in America. If he has talked tariffs for any different reason than this, I haven't seen it. Send anything relevant. Russia, Ukraine. He's committed to end that conflict as one of his first priorities. That's why a lot of never Republicans I respect a lot are endorsing him. Very influential Americans he would not want to disappoint. Election integrity is a dicey convo. We'll just argue. Let's not talk about it. Immigration legislation's easy. Review the stats of numbers of undocumented immigrants entering the country 2016 to 2020 versus the last 4 years, or ask 100% of Border Patrol agents and leadership. I don't know what you're talking about with public school policy. Military independence, not sure I understand that one, but he wants to decrease military spending to or sending to Israel or continue to support Israel, and then wants to pull out of Ukraine. Every dollar we spend in Ukraine is actually sent to the defense contractors. They send our old weapons, and then they build.
Why don't we just kind of brush on that a little bit? All the money that the government has voted to send out of America to fund war efforts ever since I was a kid, all that money is just getting funneled out of the American. Well, I don't want to say American economy altogether, but you know, all that money's going right back into the weapons sector of it. Not just developing weapons and whatnot, but I'm talking about like the full on wars. Anyway, what I'm getting at is all that money could have been put into building up America. We could have shining example of a modern civilization to this day, right now. No homeless whatsoever. The entire country being on renewable energy. That could have all been subsidized by the government, by all the money that they have sent out to war efforts since I was a kid. We could have an entirely new construction method, which greatly reduces even the need for electric to begin with, as far as just, you know, there's ancient building methods used in Africa a lot, but in Arabia and whatnot. But there is efficiency being intentionally siphoned, and there is being misdirected intentionally in order to weaken the American society, and this has been in effect since I was a kid. You know, well since I was a kid. We were taught when I was a kid that America is the greatest country, and I used to believe that for a long time, until, like, I don't know, the last ever since I grew up, it started looking around. But I'm just saying, America could absolutely be the greatest country, but we have let an infestation within our government undermine the efficiency and the strength. You know, we've just been undermined in every which direction. And isn't it funny how you can't give your kid cannabis or CBD oil in a lot of states to treat and cure a lot of things that are provably with that? Apologize for the technical difficulties, man. I gotta roll till I get some better equipment. What's up? So anyway, so you can't give a curative, all natural substance to your kids, yet your kid can go behind your back in a lot of states and get these bullshit synthetic chemicals pumped into them, which chemically castrates them. There is obviously an agenda behind the scenes, directing policies, and it's an agenda of weakness. Um, no representation, or what is that? No taxation without representation. Okay, so we have representatives, right? So the real thing with taxes is everyone has the right to agree to or not agree to a certain tax. Okay, the governments would like you to not know this, but we actually do have that right. Governments would like you to think, whatever they say goes. You voted for, but the real voting that anyone does is with their time and money. The government knows this. Time is the most valuable thing, and the minds of the youth is the most valuable thing, because that's what creates an entire society, and that's what the government has gone after to manipulate, to insidiously weaken, and it's an intentional effort. Maple, come on. Okay. All right, tell him. All right, roll with it, Jessica.
Less new ones. And then on the elites, I was like, so this is a simple thing. The elites we're talking about are the pharmaceutical industrial complex, CEOs and leadership, the
Banks.
military industrial complex, and the banks. Exactly. I'm like, and what they're doing is they use the American a bank account that they are rating. Oh, let's keep supporting Ukraine. $500 billion because we're going to take that money. That's our tax dollars. Those elites, and they know. And so they are constantly slandering him and trying to push him out. Pharmaceutical companies, exact same thing.
Mandating free things.
That we
Are
pay
they
for.
free? Yeah.
That is the elites.
And who owns all the media companies? Who owns all the pharmaceutical companies? The same motherfuckers as who? So just let that sink in and think about that as you consume your prescribed propaganda from socially accepted channels, i.e. the mainstream news.
Let me just read the response. From a pure standpoint, I don't agree with a number of Trump's stated policy positions. I don't think the secondary consequences of them are understood. I don't agree with the interpretations, but that's just normal political differences. But from my emotional standpoint, I think he's disgusting, untrustworthy, and narcissistic.
So tell us what it's really based in.
So again,
Yeah.
I'm like I really believe that most people who look at Trump voters, that's what they see. They're like, he's so, because the only platform they have on the other side is Trump is so dangerous on these, and they never have any plan of their own that they're talking about. It's just like, he's dangerous.
Can I tell you something?
Absolutely.
If that person actually met Trump in real life and Trump was not Trump and he didn't have these pre-existing thoughts, he would love him.
For sure.
He is very similar to one of his best friends.
100%.
They would be buddies.
Without a shred of doubt.
Oh,
That
I
is
know.
a fact.
Yep.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
A fact of life.
But yeah.
Now, to be clear, I have never voted my whole life. Because I don't believe in the vote system as it is. Like I said, I think the biggest thing you vote with in this world is your time and money. And I've believed ever since I was at the highest levels of the government that they are just figureheads anyway. They are just figureheads. They are puppets that put on a horse and pony show. Manipulate the masses into relinquishing their divine sovereignty through mass psychosis and mass Stockholm syndrome. So, I love America. I love the freedom inherent in the land of America. All of America, not just North America or USA. All of America. There is a spirit of freedom in America, and where you find the greatest freedom, there will also be the greatest tyranny that arises in order to devour the light of that freedom. And, that's where we are. And that's the world we're in. So you're either going to fear one more or the other. Do you fear dying on your feet, or do you fear living on your knees? If you fear living on your knees, then you will happily die on your feet. If you fear dying on your feet, you will happily live on your knees. So you just got to ask yourself, which one are you? I know which one I am. Anyway, step into Dane's world. Appreciate it, y'all. I'm the Dark Light. Fuck. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. All right.